The sun blazed down mercilessly on the small village, baking the earth to a crisp and leaving the air thick with a choking haze. The once lush greenery was now withered and brown, the trees standing like silent sentinels of a dying world. The river that had once flowed through the village now lay barren, its bed cracked and dry, a mocking reminder of the drought that had plagued the land for weeks. Luna couldn't bear to see her village suffer like this. She had always felt a deep connection to water-type Pokemon, and her heart ached at the thought of their suffering. She knew she had to do something, anything, to help them. That's when she remembered the stories about Gyarados, the powerful Pokemon said to live in the vast lake that surrounded their village. Without a second thought, Luna set out on a journey to find Gyarados. She walked for hours under the scorching sun, her feet aching and her throat parched, but she refused to give up. She was driven by a fierce determination to save her village and the water-type Pokemon that called it home. As Luna walked, she noticed how the world around her was changing. The grass became sparser, the trees scarcer, and the heat more oppressive. She knew she was getting closer to the lake, but she also knew that the journey would not be an easy one. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, Luna finally caught sight of the shimmering expanse of water that was the lake. It was breathtakingly beautiful, the surface of the water reflecting the dying rays of the sun like 1,000 diamonds. Luna felt her heart lift at the sight, and she quickened her pace, eager to see if Gyarados was truly there. But as she got closer to the lake, Luna noticed something was wrong. The water was still, too still, and there was no sound except for the distant cries of Pokemon. Luna frowned and picked up her pace, her heart hammering in her chest. As she reached the shore, Luna's worst fears were confirmed. The lake was almost completely dry, the water level so low that it barely reached her ankles. The few remaining water-type Pokemon huddled together in fear, their eyes pleading for help. Luna felt a lump form in her throat at the sight. She knew she had to find Gyarados and ask for its help. She took a deep breath and waded into the lake, determined to find the powerful Pokemon no matter what it took. The journey ahead of Luna would be a difficult one, filled with danger and uncertainty, but Luna refused to back down. She was determined to save her village and the water-type Pokemon that called it home, and she knew that with enough courage and determination, anything was possible. Luna marched forward, her heart beating fast with a mix of fear and determination. The sun was beating down on her, and sweat trickled down her forehead, but she didn't let it bother her. She was focused on one thing, and one thing only, stopping the poachers. As she approached the edge of the lake, she saw a group of people huddled around a cage. They were the poachers she had heard about. They looked up at her and sneered, as if daring her to try and stop them. Luna swallowed hard and took a deep breath. She knew what she had to do. She approached the group and said, "You can't do this! You can't capture these Pokemon like this!" One of the poachers, a tall man with a scruffy beard, laughed and said, "And who's going to stop us? A little girl like you?" Luna didn't flinch. She stood her ground and said, "I will. I won't let you hurt these Pokemon anymore." The poachers laughed even harder, and Luna could feel her face turning red with anger. She was about to say something else when she heard a loud noise coming from the cage. She turned to look, and her heart sank. It was a Gyarados, trapped inside the cage. Luna couldn't believe it. Gyarados was one of the most powerful and revered Pokemon in the world, and here it was, trapped and helpless. Luna knew she had to act fast. She called out her own Pokemon, a water type named Squirtle, and prepared for battle. The poachers released their own Pokemon, and the battle began. Luna and Squirtle fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. The poachers had more Pokemon, and they were more experienced. Luna could feel herself losing hope, but then she heard a roar. She turned to see Gyarados, who had broken free from the cage. Gyarados was angry, and it was using its powerful attacks to take down the poacher's Pokemon. Luna couldn't believe her eyes. Gyarados was on her side, fighting with her. The battle was intense, but with Gyarados on their side, Luna and Squirtle were able to defeat the poachers. The poachers fled, leaving their Pokemon behind. Luna approached Gyarados, who was panting heavily. She could see the rage in its eyes, and she knew she had to do something to calm it down. She spoke softly to Gyarados, sharing her own experiences of feeling hurt and misunderstood. She emphasized the importance of empathy and understanding. Gyarados listened, and Luna could see its rage starting to subside. She knew they had a long journey ahead of them, but she was determined to make things right. Luna and Gyarados set out on a new adventure, determined to save the village and stop the poachers once and for all. As Luna approached the lake, she could feel a sense of unease rising in her chest. She had never seen the water so still and quiet, and she knew that something was wrong. As she drew closer, she saw Gyarados, the powerful Pokemon she had come to find, thrashing about in the water, its rage causing the lake to churn and boil. Luna knew that she needed to approach Gyarados with caution, so she slowly waded into the water, her heart pounding in her chest. The closer she got, the more she could feel the intensity of Gyarados' anger. Its eyes were glowing with a fierce red light, and its body was crackling with electricity. "Luna," Gyarados growled, its voice deep and menacing. "What brings you here?" "I came to ask for your help," Luna said, trying to remain calm. "My village is suffering from a terrible drought, and we need water to survive. I heard that you have the power to control water, and I was hoping that you could help us." Gyarados snorted, sending a powerful wave of water crashing toward Luna. She managed to dodge it just in time, but the force of the water knocked her off her feet and sent her tumbling backward. "You think I care about your village?" Gyarados roared. "All I care about is revenge. Those poachers have angered me, and I will not rest until they pay for what they've done." Luna's heart sank as she realized the extent of Gyarados' rage. She knew that she needed to find a way to calm it down, but she wasn't sure how. "Gyarados, please," Luna said, her voice shaking. "I understand that you're angry, but you can't keep causing destruction like this. Innocent people are being hurt, and it's not fair." Gyarados growled, its eyes narrowing as it considered Luna's words. After a moment of silence, it spoke again. "You're right," Gyarados said, its voice softer this time. "I can't keep lashing out like this, but the poachers must be punished. They have been capturing water-type Pokemon and selling them for profit, and I will not stand for it." Luna nodded, understanding now the source of Gyarados' anger. She knew that she needed to find a way to stop the poachers and bring peace to the lake and the village. "We'll stop them, Gyarados," Luna said, determination in her voice. "Together we can put an end to their illegal activities and bring justice to those they've harmed." Gyarados nodded, a small glimmer of hope shining in its eyes. Luna felt a sense of relief, knowing that she had made progress in calming Gyarados down. She had a new sense of purpose now, and she knew that she would stop at nothing to protect her village and the Pokemon she loved. Together, Luna and Gyarados continued to swim, discussing their plans and finding a way to stop the poachers. They both knew that it wouldn't be easy, but they also knew that they had each other, and that was enough. After what felt like forever, Luna and Gyarados found what they were looking for. Luna's heart races as she stares down the group of poachers who have released their Pokemon. She takes a deep breath and prepares to fight. She feels Gyarados by her side, its presence giving her strength. The poachers release their first Pokemon, a powerful Blastoise. Luna sends out her Lapras, who charges forward to meet Blastoise head-on. Luna can see the poachers' greed in their eyes as they watch the battle. They are only interested in capturing Gyarados, and they will stop at nothing to do so. As the battle intensifies, Luna notices that Gyarados is growing more and more agitated. She knows she needs to keep it calm if they have any chance of winning. She calls out to Gyarados, telling it to focus on protecting the village and their friends and not to give in to anger. The poachers release their second Pokemon, a massive Tentacruel that towers over Luna and her Pokemon. Luna sends out her Blastoise, who steps forward to face the giant jellyfish. Luna can feel her heart pounding as the battle rages on. She can hear Gyarados roaring in the background, its anger barely contained. Suddenly, Luna sees a glimmer of hope. The poachers' Pokemon are starting to weaken. Luna and her Pokemon continue to fight with all their might, hoping to weaken them enough to end the battle once and for all. Then the poachers release their final Pokemon, a ferocious Gyarados. Luna's heart drops as she sees the massive creature emerge from its pokeball. She knows that this Gyarados is different from the one she has befriended. It's wild, untamed, and filled with anger. Luna sends out her Lapras once again, and the two Gyarados engage in an epic battle. Luna can feel the ground shaking beneath her feet as the two massive creatures clash. Their roars echo across the lake, and Luna can feel the intense energy pulsating around her. As the battle rages on, Luna sees an opening. She sends out Gyarados, hoping that its calming presence will soothe the wild Gyarados' rage. At first, it seems like nothing will work. The wild Gyarados continues to lash out, its attacks becoming more and more violent. But then, Luna sees a change. The wild Gyarados starts to slow down, its movements becoming less erratic. Luna can see the fear in its eyes, and she knows that she has a chance. She calls out to Gyarados, telling it to show the wild Gyarados that they are not enemies. Gyarados nods, and together they unleash a powerful attack. The wild Gyarados is knocked back, and Luna can see that it's finally calming down. As the wild Gyarados retreats, the poachers realize that they have lost. They turn tail and run, leaving Luna and her Pokémon victorious. Luna can feel her heart swelling with pride. She knows that she has saved her village and made a difference. As the sun sets over the lake, Luna and her Pokémon look out over the water. She can see Gyarados by her side, its anger replaced with a sense of peace. Luna knows that this is only the beginning of her journey, but she's ready for whatever comes next. Luna returns to her village, with Gyarados swimming beside her. As she approaches, she can see the faces of the villagers lighting up with hope, and a sense of relief washes over her. The village that was once barren and lifeless is now thriving, with greenery growing everywhere, and the lake brimming with water. Luna and Gyarados have become protectors of the village, and their bond has become a symbol of hope for everyone. As they enter the village, Luna can hear the cheers of the villagers as they welcome them home. Gyarados, who was once feared and hated, is now seen as a savior and a friend. Luna feels a sense of pride, knowing that she was able to make a difference. She looks around and sees children playing by the lake, villagers fishing, and families cooking meals together. It's a scene of pure happiness and contentment, something that Luna had never seen in her village before. As Luna walks through the village, she can see the changes that have taken place. New buildings have been erected and the old ones have been repaired. She can hear the sound of laughter and conversations which had once been absent. Luna knows that the village will never be the same again, and that it's all thanks to her and Gyarados. The villagers approach Luna, thanking her for her bravery and determination. They offer her gifts and food, and Luna knows that she will never forget this moment. As the day turns into night, the villagers gather around a bonfire to celebrate their newfound hope. Luna sits next to Gyarados, watching the flames dance, feeling content and happy. As the night wears on, Luna reflects on her journey and everything that she has learned. She realizes that empathy and understanding are crucial when it comes to dealing with conflict. She knows that if it weren't for her ability to empathize with Gyarados, the village would still be suffering. Luna looks over at Gyarados, who is sitting peacefully beside her. She knows that Gyarados will always hold a special place in her heart, and she will never forget the bond they formed. Luna feels a sense of accomplishment, knowing that she was able to help not only her village, but also Gyarados. As the night draws to a close, Luna knows that she has accomplished what she set out to do. She has brought hope to her village, and she has made a difference. Luna looks up at the stars, feeling grateful for the journey that brought her to this moment. She knows that the future is bright, and that anything is possible with empathy, understanding, and determination.